Who I am. Why am I standing here in front of you with a microphone? Hello. Heck, I even asked myself the same thing at 2 a.m. last night. What is me, a 21-year-old who went to Tahatai Coast Primary School, great school, by the way, parents and kids, and then Towering Intermediate, also a great school, parents and kids, and then Tauranga Boys College, another great school, parents and bigger kids, teens, whatever you want to call it. I don't feel like I'm very different than any of you here today. We all have things in common. For instance, who here, I don't know if I can stand in front of that fire, I might just stand back. Who here likes the beach? Put your hand up if you like the beach. Woo! Okay, now put your hand up and make some noise if you really like the beach. Oh yeah, okay. I think if the weather stayed this blue all day, that would have been a bit louder, but we'll allow it. We have these things in common, right? Ice cream. Put your hand up if you like ice cream. All right, make some noise too if you like ice cream. Woo! Come on, louder. Yeah, there you go. You like ice cream. Mum, Dad, I saw you with your hands up too. Ice cream after my speech. You did it to yourselves, all right? We have these common grounds and things we all love. Having fun. Put your hand high in the sky if you like having fun. Everyone here who can hear me should have your hand up right now, unless you're like me and you got a bit of a shoulder injury and you're going to do a little queen wave. That's the only difference. The things that come into different are these details and how we describe fun. What fun is to you is going to be completely different than someone else. Your definition is going to be different than yours, and Granddad over there is going to love playing on the playground over there, obviously. All of our definitions are allowed to be different, and they are still fun, and that's okay. We're all human. We have these similarities, these common grounds within things, within ourselves, where we are the same. It's in the details where things get different. Now I'm just going to do this because shuffling's a bit difficult. These details can be behind closed doors. The things at home that we don't really see. Things that are hidden away that aren't talked about. That's when we really find out who people are. That happy-go-lucky person that seems so happy, or that grumpy person there in life, you don't know what they're like at home until you get to know them really well and understand them and realize why they're different, why they're them. I remember a little kid, super energized, smart even at school. And until I got to know him, I wouldn't have thought any different. At home, life was a bit different, indeed. Not so happy-go-lucky, stowed away, not energetic. Other things would then pop up for this little kid. For something like bullying, for instance. A heavy topic that's still relevant, either in the workplace or in the classroom, kindergarten, playground instance. Something that's still here and relevant here in New Zealand. This can be as simple as something as gaslighting, that sarcasm humor that we have. Oh, you know, it's all good, it's just a joke. Is it really? Or is it just an instance for you to put someone down for your own gain? Something I wish that little kid knew growing up, and a tool I'll tell you today because I want to give you something, is when people bully or they put you down for whatever reason that may be, they're quite often and not projecting their own insecurities. They're features that they're putting on, the bushy eyebrows, big head, funny shoes, whatever it is. Look at them for what they're projecting for that feature. It's so important to understand that, and I wish that little kid could know that, and those little kids here today. What we can do is boost self-esteem and self-worth. Understand that you are different in your own right, and that's okay. That's what makes you, and you. In individualism, there is beauty. As parents, How scary is the internet? It's petrifying. All access to information. What are you going to do? Try and control what your child does and sees and views? You can't do that. The only thing you can do as a parent is boost their self-esteem. Let them know they are loved, they are themselves, and nobody can affect that apart from you. The only thing we should let in is our own voice and the things that can impact that. That little kid had no self-worth. He didn't really understand that. He didn't have that self-esteem. That little kid was also me. And he's growing up into who I am today. That little kid bottled up all his problems. And in 2017, he was diagnosed with bipolar. Went to Starship Mental Health Hospital twice. First voluntarily, then not voluntarily after that. Was on a cocktail of medications and had to battle a mental health journey. If that kid had noticed some signs growing up where things were bottling up, things were getting out of control, he would have never had to go through that. That kid could be sitting here today. You would never know behind those closed doors. Some of these things can impact into the stats we have here today in New Zealand. I'm not a big numbers person, but 607 Kiwis that aren't here this year, devastating. We all lost a loved one. Heartbreaking for everyone. Talk to someone. A loved one, someone you care about, a friend, a professional, a hotline. There's plenty of people here today, and they would love these conversations. Understand the history within your family if there is mental illness, because that's super important to understand to move forward. Those off thoughts you have, a train whizzes by and you think, what if I walked forward? That's normal. Don't let that bottle up and become something that could be a lot worse. Talk about it. Speak up. Which is my next point, speaking up. It's a cliche. We've all heard speaking up before. But what does it mean? It means genuinely asking people and caring about what they say to you, because that's so important. The classic, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm good. Are you really? Dig deeper. They might get frustrated at first, but you never know that release you could really be giving them just from asking that question and moving forward. That is so critical. Kiwi culture in particular, our tall poppy syndrome, standing out, being different, what makes us unique? What is that? We need to change that. That's not the culture we want to spread onto the tamariki of the next generation at all. Harden up culture, for instance, as well. Yes, there is an element of that where it's your self-esteem and building your worth, but don't discredit those negative talks. It's okay. Speak up about the bad stuff too. That's normal. And that's how we're going to move forward. That kid who could have spoken up but didn't, still could be here today. Now, concluding, with all being said, all I've learned, now knowing, managing myself, bullying, self-esteem, self-worth, mental illness, and speaking up, I'm still just like any of you here today. I'm still just a typical fun-loving Kiwi bloke. Now, if you wanted to reach out to me, or reach out to anyone here, you can contact me directly through scendent.co.nz. That's scendent.co.nz. Or if you see a guy with a funny hat like this, that's me. Kind of the idea of wearing a funny hat, I thought. And also feel free to speak to any of our booths with professionals here today, or to your loved ones. Thank you so much, Fluro Fest. You've been a pleasure.